everyone can't be a hero. Hello, welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host, Khaleel Ward. On this episode, I'll be talking about a DC animated movie called Deathstroke, Knights and Dragons. The movie follows Deathstroke. Uh, you've probably seen him on Titans. He fights Batman a few times, but he's like this mercenary. He has enhanced healing ability, so he can get shot up and stabbed and come back looking fresh. But he kills people for money. And this movie follows him and he's sort of a family man, even though he just lies about everything. He has a wife, he has a son, and eventually they his son gets kidnapped and he's trying to rescue his son from this organization called the Hive and this bad guy called the Jackal. He rescues the son, but something happens and then it goes 10 years later, because he lied about a lot of stuff. He didn't tell his wife he was a mercenary. He lied and said he's a businessman. So you're following Deathstroke around and it's like it's trying to make you care about him, but at the end of the day, I didn't care about him in terms of like what was going on with his family. I'm like, well, he's a liar. He gets what he deserves. But it turns out his son has like these special abilities, that he got from his father, after the experiment in the army, gave Deathstroke his ability in this movie. His son has like this psychic ability. It's not, the healing factor or the fighting. It's some psychic ability. And Hive has captured him and wants to use him as a weapon. So Deathstroke comes back to save his kid, even though he hasn't talked to the mom in a while. He wants to save his son. He claims he cares about his son. And the best thing about this is the blood and the gore and the fighting. When he's on screen, he's real quick. He destroys most people he comes across, real fast, sword or a gun. And it's cool seeing that. It's cool seeing Deathstroke actually fight and get stuff done. Even in the beginning when we're introduced to him, he's taking on like a whole militia and double crossing people because that's what he does. And he fights for the highest bidder. It's a couple of times he fights people that's supposed to be toe to toe with him, and he just takes them out real quick. He kills a lot of people, and that's the best part of the movie. Like the movie trying to connect you to his family, it doesn't sit well. It's like we haven't had previous movies showing us this character. It's not like when you see Batman and you get introduced to his son and other people in Batman's life. You have a connection with them. In this, it's just them trying to show you Deathstroke is a person and he cares about other people, but it's a stretch. In terms of like the DC animated movies, this is not a part of any continuation I'm not aware of. And it's not really one of those high tier movies, even as a spin-off, it's not up there, with even something like a Suicide Squad movie that was really good. I wasn't really feeling the movie. It felt like it was long and it was dragging, to get to that conclusion, to that final fight, that final battle, with Deathstroke and Jackal. But it's not something I would go out and, want to see. I wouldn't recommend going to like, buy this or anything like that. But it's called Deathstroke, Knights and Dragons. If you watched it, let me know what you thought about it. If you enjoyed it, let me know why. What were some of your favorite moments of the movie? But thank you for listening. Deuces.